The courtroom was silent as Cassie Ventura took the stand, and what she revealed left everyone stunned. From hidden messages to disturbing demands, she described a world few ever see. But just when you think you've heard it all, what she said next changed everything. Here's exactly what was said in court, word for word. The judge began by confirming that Cassie Ventura's cross-examination was expected to finish by 4:30 p.m. The government said they'd keep their follow-up questions or redirect to just 30 minutes. Sean Combs' lawyer, Ana Maria Estevao, told the judge they had some issues with evidence. The judge asked her to explain, saying these matters should have been put in writing earlier. Estevao said she didn't understand why the government was objecting to their exhibits. The prosecutor, Assistant U.S. Attorney Johnson, responded that the defense wanted to use a video of Mr. Combs walking in nature, talking about God. The government said that video wasn't proper evidence and could confuse the jury. The judge agreed to hear the argument. The defense explained the video showed Mr. Combs during rehab, and since Cassie said she couldn't remember it, they wanted to use the video to help refresh her memory. But the government argued that the jury shouldn't see that video and that it wasn't allowed to be played in front of them. The defense said they had headphones if needed. The judge then said, "Our jury is ready. Are there any more issues?" Estevao brought up that the mention of rape happening after the charges in question was a big issue for the defense. But the judge disagreed, saying it wasn't a major issue and the defense didn't raise it when they should have. The judge then called for the jury to come in and told everyone, "All rise." Once the jury entered, the judge said, "Good morning. You are still under oath, Ms. Ventura." The defense asked Cassie if she believed Mr. Combs was blacked out during an event at the Intercontinental Hotel. She answered, "I believe he was intoxicated. Everyone's definition is different." The defense pointed out she had used the word blacked out before. Next, they asked Cassie what she meant when she wrote a message saying, "When you get fuck up the wrong way." Cassie explained she meant from alcohol and substances. The defense then brought up a message from Mr. Combs where he said, "I'm so horny for you." The government objected, saying that message was not part of the evidence. The defense continued questioning. They pointed out that Mr. Combs asked for sex soon after the Intercontinental event. Cassie answered that she was trying to express how he felt. When asked what she replied, she said, "We need a different vibe than Friday at the Intercontinental." Then the lawyers met with the judge briefly before the jury returned. The judge told them to wrap it up quickly. The defense said they still believed a message saying, "I'd like to reconnect," should be allowed in court. The government disagreed. They asked what the message was trying to show about Mr. Combs' state of mind. The judge said some parts of the message could be allowed if other parts were removed. For example, a paragraph saying, "I've been getting my life together," would need to be removed. The defense agreed and said they'd remove that part right away. Later, Combs' other lawyer, Tenny Garagos, also spoke about exhibits and what needed to be cut out. Estevao told the judge they would likely finish questioning Cassie sooner than expected. Another one of Combs' lawyers, Agnifilo, asked to speak with the government briefly. Then the jury was brought back in. Estevao told Cassie, "We're almost done here." Cassie replied, "Thank you." Estevao read a message from Combs to Cassie. "You're going to make a beautiful mother. God bless." Cassie replied to him, "Thank you, God bless." Cassie also said she once wrote to Combs, "We should talk and have closure." He replied with a crying face emoji and said, "You were always my ride or die." Cassie said she thought the message was nice. The lawyer asked if she had been craving that message. She said, "Before, but not now." The lawyer asked if they shaped each other over 11 years. Cassie said, "Yes." She confirmed her husband is a fitness trainer, and the home she grew up in was modest compared to the large houses she later visited. The defense asked if she had been preparing to go on tour with an engineer named Matt Testa. She said yes. Estevao pointed out that after she settled her lawsuit, she canceled the tour. Cassie said she did, but it wasn't because she no longer needed the money. The defense brought up a time when she posted about domestic violence after a hotel video came out. Cassie confirmed she did that and said she still feels that way. Then Estevao read another message from Mr. Combs. "Want to freak off one last time?" She asked what Cassie replied. Cassie said, "I don't want it to be the last time. I want freak off for the first time." Estevao said, "No further questions." Now it was time for the government to ask more questions. They showed Cassie the message again. She replied that she also wrote, "Yes, I'm horny. Just got over a UTI." The government asked if there were loving messages between her and Sean. She said yes. But when asked if those moments lasted, she said no, and that there was always a downside. The prosecutor asked, "What kind of world did Sean open up to you?" Cassie answered, "A world of chaos." She said during their 11-year relationship, she only wanted to be with Sean. When asked what she did after Sean texted, "Seduce me all day," she said she sent messages about freak-offs. Cassie said if Sean told her to cancel her work to have a freak-off, she would. She explained that during a movie shoot in South Africa, she blocked him, but he still contacted her through someone named Mia. The prosecutor asked if she believed Sean when he said he didn't remember hurting her. Cassie said, "Not always," and added that she'd seen him be violent with others. On a flight back from Cannes, Sean showed her a video of her with an escort. He told her he would release it. When they reached New York, he told her to have a freak-off or he'd release the video. The prosecutor asked Cassie what Sean meant when he said, "You ready for tonight?" She replied, "Freak-off." She was then asked what she feared he'd do if she refused. Combs' lawyer objected, but the judge allowed the question. Cassie said she wasn't sure what he'd do that week. Then came the big question. "Do you have any doubt that Sean raped you?" Cassie's answer, "I have no doubt." The government asked if she had consensual sex with him later, even while her now husband called during it. Cassie said yes. Cassie said she canceled her tour because dealing with the past after filing the civil suit was overwhelming. She said she has no plans to file more lawsuits. Then she was asked if she'd give back the $20 million settlement if it meant she didn't have to do freak-offs. Cassie said yes. She would give it back to get her agency and control back. She cried when she said Sean beat her during those freak-offs. She said at first she was open to them, but over time, she told him she no longer wanted to do them, more than once. She said her concerns about saying no were about safety, her career, and love. The government finished. The judge asked if Estevao had more questions. Estevao asked, "You knew Sean liked freak-offs, right?" Cassie said she learned that over time and that it became part of being his girlfriend. Estevao asked if she kept her old phone. Cassie said yes. They discussed whether the freak-off videos were from 2012 and 2014. Cassie wasn't sure of the years. The lawyer pointed out that she stood next to Sean at the Met Gala and got access to music producers because of the relationship. Cassie agreed. She also confirmed she was put in the studio with Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, and Pusha T. Cassie admitted she had a rough performance on BET 106 and Park early in her career, but said she didn't doubt her talent. Estevao asked if D-Rock felt like family. Cassie said yes, like a brother. She also said she had a friendship with the assistant Mia. The lawyer pointed out that Cassie and Sean exchanged sexual messages, and Cassie confirmed she participated in them. Estevao asked if she felt overwhelmed after filing the lawsuit. Cassie said yes. The lawyer asked if she recently got a settlement from the Intercontinental incident. Cassie said no, but she had made a demand, maybe around $10 million. The judge asked if there was anything more. The prosecutor said they had one final question, but the judge said he was talking to Estevao and asked if she could finish in 2 minutes. Estevao said, "This is the last thing I'll ask you to read." Cassie read aloud, "We need closure and understanding." And with that, after 3 long days, Cassie Ventura's testimony was done.